All right, so today's topic is the Civil War, which ranged from 1861 to 1865. And today I'm just going to cover a couple brief topics to kind of give you an idea of the Civil War before we actually dive into what actually happened in the Civil War and all the different battles fought during the Civil War. So to begin, the main causes of the Civil War started out with Lincoln being elected president. He wanted to try to restore the Union, which is going to be known as the North. From there, South Carolina immediately seceded, followed by a couple other states such as Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and so forth. They formed the Confederate States of America, or the Confederacy as we know it, under the leadership of Jefferson Davis. From here, after the South succeeded, Confederate forces attacked Union troops in Sumter, South Carolina, which is known as the Battle of Fort Sumter. This was kind of the main spark of the Civil War, and which you will find is probably one of the main and most known causes of the Civil War. So, from here, both sides, the North and the South, believed the conflict would be short-lived. However, after the First Battle of Bull Run, when the Union failed to rout the Confederacy, it became clear that the war would not end quickly. We'll go into the Battle of Bull Run later, but basically from here, the Union developed the Anaconda Plan, which was used to squeeze the Confederacy. They blockaded the naval ports to try to take control of the Mississippi. This would cause the South to run out of resources, since the South really did rely on the Mississippi for the resources to keep them continuing. From here, after the Battle of Bull Run and a couple other ones, is the Battle of Antietam, which is a really known war during the Civil War. It happened in 1862. It was kind of the turning point of the war. It was the first battle to be fought on Union soil under General George B. McClellan. And General Lee was elected the general for this at this time. From here, the Union actually won this battle, which kind of pushed Lincoln for the Emancipation Proclamation from here. After that was the Battle of Gettysburg. General Lee decided to attack the North. He went to Gettysburg in hopes to interrupt a shipment of shoes because they were trying to stop all trades and stuff like that from the North. On July 1st, General Lee pushed out Union troops. Reinforcements were rushed in for both sides. On July 2nd, General Lee attacked the North, but the North held their ground really strong. General Lee ordered 15,000 more troops to attack, but the North was still holding strong. And with the North holding so strong, General Lee retreated back to Virginia on July 4th, and the Union actually won the Battle of Gettysburg. Along with the Battle of Gettysburg, we'll talk about the Gettysburg Address, which was a really known thing from President Lincoln. Just another key thing that happened, the Emancipation Proclamation. Lincoln decided to end slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation only freed slaves in states that were at war with the Union and allowed the Native Americans to enlist in the Army. The South surrenders. The South surrendered at the Battle of Atlanta. The Union proceeded into the South. The Confederacy fell because the Union was way too strong. The Confederacy had been bombed by the North, and they were starting to really fall apart. So in 1865, General Lee surrendered. And one of the main results of the Civil War that we will talk about later was the ending of slavery. The 13th Amendment was passed. Abraham Lincoln started out with just wanting to kind of end slavery in the states that were rebelling and was okay with that. But then after all the wars and the long fighting, he just decided that slavery needed to end for good. And through the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment, this was able to happen. So in our next class, we will talk more about the different battles that were actually fought during the Civil War and the different outcomes and results that the Civil War actually had on the United States.